it's me, Liz. Today, we're going to be doing yoga for golfers. Golfing, the sport golfing, would really create a lot of tightness and tension through the neck, the shoulders, the upper back. But the golf swing also really affects the hips, the low back, even the knees and the ankles. We'll be doing a yoga sequence that focuses on all of those joints, stretching and strengthening them, and really focusing on what golf does to the golfer. We only practice one way. We never golf swing the other direction. So that means our chest, our shoulders, our upper back is really tight, is really unbalanced. Right here in this class is where we begin to balance it all back out. We'll include 2 blocks, and if you don't have blocks, pillows, anything that gives support. I'm putting the blocks immediately under my knees to support my knees. I actually have a little swollen knee today. Fine. I am Liz with Shiva Yoga, and Shiva Yoga is located in Des Moines, Washington, really close to SeaTac Airport. I hope you visit if you're ever in town. We're going to begin by closing our eyes and pulling our awareness inward, bringing our awareness to our own breath. And we deepen the breath. And notice how that relaxes your body. Hands come to heart center, but eyes stay closed. Time to set a sankalpa, or an intention for class. An intention is something you want to bring into your life. And when we thread intention with practice, we ground down our intention. We root it in. We anchor it in. An intention is something we want to bring into our body, into our life, into our spirit. Create your intention now. And then gently flutter eyes open, fingers interlock, and we just circle wrists around. And then we circle wrists the other direction. Just to be even, if you were sitting in crisscross applesauce this whole time, we now trade. Opposite leg is in front. We just stretch over to one side, and then we lift up. We stretch over to the other side, and then we lift up. We round forward, and fingers want to touch something. Even if it's our own calf, we're still rounding forward. And then we arch the spine, gaze goes up. It's just small movements. We round forward. And then we arch, gaze goes up. We round forward. And then we arch, gaze goes up. And then from here, we come all the way to child's pose. I'm going to face the camera, so I am vertical onto my mat, or horizontal to our mat. Forehead comes down, palms place against the floor, and then we just flip palms up. Forehead down, my forehead is up so I can be heard on the mic. But if I wasn't talking, my forehead would be down. We flip palms up, and then we flip palms down. We flip palms up, And then we flip palms down. We're only here for 3. Palms down, last 2, palms down. And then last one. And then we just hold, palms are down. We're in child's pose, just breathe. Just breathe. Gently glide hips up. Hands are under the shoulders. And it's the right leg that extends out to the side. Toe touches the floor. And the knee is pointing to the front. And then flex the foot and rotate so that toes point to the ceiling, and so does the knee. Once more, we rotate, toes point front, so does the knee. And then we rotate open, toes to the ceiling. Hey, we're just going to trade this back and forth, but we're using slow and deliberate movement. Last time. And from here, we just round our spine. The foot stays flexed, toes are pointing to the ceiling. And we cat and cow our spine. From here, we come to a neutral spine, and it's the right foot that points to the side wall. Knee is bent and foot is flat. We glide, hips back and forth, opening up our hip. This gliding is considered flossing movement, flossing our hip joint. We glide forward and hands, they walk around. The left foot, it points to the side, and we've walked ourselves into a deep lunge. From here we glide the hips back and forth, but it's small. We're just starting out. And then we're going to reverse out. We come all the way back. We come to the opening pose that we began with. From here, it's the right hand that comes behind the head. And the elbow points up to the ceiling, and then the elbow tries to tap the wrist. And we're only here. Last 3. Last 2. And then right hand wraps around the wrist, elbow comes down, and we gently circle out our hips. Stretching our whole torso. And then we circle out the hips the other way. Right hand comes underneath shoulder, right knee underneath the hip. And we round the spine. We arch the spine. It's tabletop, round and arch. We round and we arch. And then we come to neutral spine. It's the left leg, or the opposite leg of what we just did, that stretches out to the side. Remember, the toes point and touch the floor, and then we flex the foot and we rotate toes up to the ceiling, so is the knee. And then we rotate toes down, and then we rotate toes and knee up. And we do this slowly, deliberately. This is actually a big move. And then we hold with foot flex. We just round and arch our spine. Cat-cow. Feeling the difference between the two sides. And then we come to neutral spine. It's the left foot that takes a step underneath the knee. And from here, we just circle our hips. From here, it's going to be the left hand that comes behind the head and we twist open. The elbow taps the wrist, and then we twist open. The elbow taps the wrist, and then we twist open. Last time, and the hand touches the wrist. From here, we just circle out the hips. This is our flossing move. Circle the other direction. shoulder. Two knees come down. Foot comes out to the side. From here, hand walks all the way around. Knee comes out to the side. This is our little lunge pose. And then we just walk all the way back. From here, knee comes back together. And we come all the way back to our child's pose. Remember how we flip the hands up and then we flip the hands down. We flip the hands up and we flip the hands down. Last time, and then we flip the hands down. And then we round, we unravel. We come to our tabletop pose. It's the right leg that extends. Hey, the leg lifts, and then the knee taps the elbow. The foot steps all the way through. Tuck left toe, lift left knee, and it's the right hand that reaches forward and circles to the lower back. It's only two, but it's a push-up, up and down, and then it's the left knee down. The right leg circles all the way around, hip stacks, and then the hand reaches for the ankle. Gaze goes over the front fingers. And then we reverse out. Hand comes to the low back, and the knee pulls the leg all the way forward. We untuck left toes, we lift the knee, and then it's just two. Knee down, leg opens up, circles around, and the hand comes to the ankle. Gaze goes over the fingertips. And then we release. Hand comes to the low back. The leg steps forward. Tuck the toes, lift it up. This is the last one. This is the last one. And then knee comes down. It's the leg that wraps all the way around. Hand grabs the ankle and gaze goes over the fingers. And then we release. We come right back to our tabletop pose. And we lean all the way one direction. And then we lean all the way the other direction. We are leaning, which again is that flossing. Flossing builds the internal part of the shoulder. Good for us. Last time. And then we come to stillness. Hey, remember how we started? Oh, we remember. It's going to be the right leg this time. It's going to be the left leg this time that comes all the way down. Hey, from here, we lift the leg, and it's the left hand that circles all the way down. As the left foot steps forward, it's the right knee, right toes pressed down, and then it's just a push-up, only here for two. Hey, right knee down, and it's the left leg that spins around, hand connects with ankle and gaze, goes over the fingertips. We reverse out, hand to the low back, leg steps forward, tuck the toe, lift the knee, and then it's just two. And then knee comes down, and we swing that leg all the way around. Ankle comes to the hand, gaze over the fingertips. This is our last time. Last time as we stretch it forward. Hey, untap. We're only here for two. Last one. And then left knee comes down. Right leg, left leg swings all the way around. Gaze over the fingertips. And then we release. Two legs. Come back to that tabletop. We're going to glide forward. And then we glide it back. We're going to glide forward. And then we glide it back. This is our last time as we glide forward. And then we glide it back. Hey, hips stay high. This is our puppy pose. Forehead comes down. Just breathe. Just breathe. From here, we gently press up. And this is our high plank. From high plank, it's low plank. Knees come down, untuck the toes, lower the belly, but lift the chest up. This is Cobra Pose. From Cobra Pose, we're reversing out. So, tuck the toes, lift the belly, then press up to high plank. Push it back. This is downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, the right leg goes high. The knee bends, scorpio dog. Knee taps the outside of the elbow. Knee taps the nose, and then knee lowers all the way down, and we come to a pigeon pose. Block can come underneath the hip. This is a perfect place to support your bent leg by putting a block under the hip. We're just going to lower the hip down, and then we lift it up. We're just going to lower the head down, and then we lift it up. Last time. We just lower, and then we lift it up. And then we're going to reverse out. So tuck the back leg toe, lift the knee, and then elbow comes to the knee. Hey, we step that leg back, and then it's the left leg that comes forward, touching the outside of the elbow, and then the leg lowers down. The block can come underneath the hip. And at first, shoulders, head is high. This is our pigeon pose. And then we lower our head, and we lift. We lower our head, and we lift. Last time, we lower our head, and we lift. And then we tuck our toe, we lift our knee, and then it's elbow to the knee, and then we extend. From here, knees come down, and come to child's pose. Child's pose. And we're going to cross one arm over the chest, and we're going to bring the same ear down to the mat. So I have a knee that's inflamed right now. My child's pose doesn't happen for me. If you can bend your knee and lower your hips to your heels, that's what you do. Last breath here. And then we unravel out. And it's the other arm that crosses the body, the other ear comes down. Remember how we want our hips to our heels. Just breathe. Just be still. And then we just uncross. We unravel. We unwrap. From here, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and press the hips back. This is our downward facing dog, and we lift the heels and then we lower. We lift the heels and then we lower. Last time, we lift the heels and then we lower. This time it's the left leg that lifts up. That knee bends. This is our scorpio dog. Remember, the knee taps the outside of the elbow, and then the knee taps the nose, and then we lower leg down. We're coming to our Scorpio. We're coming to our pigeon. We just lower the chest. Head doesn't have to touch, and we lift. Only 2 more times. Last time, and then we reverse out. Tuck the straight leg toe, lift the knee, and the knee comes to the nose, and then the knee steps back. Hey, it's the knee, the opposite knee that taps the outside, and then the leg lowers down. The block comes underneath the hips. And then from here, remember, we just lower and lift. We just lower and lift. Last time, we just lower and lift. From here, we tuck the toe, we lift the knee, we step it back. It's high plank to low plank. Lower the knees, remove the block, and then gently lower the hips and come to low cobra. From low cobra, we're going to reverse out. So we tuck the toes, We lift the torso, lift the knees, and then we press it back. It's our downward facing dog. Heels go high, heels go low, heels go high, heels go low. Lower the knees all the way down. And from here, take one hand and point the fingers to that. And then we release. From here, we tuck the toes, we lift the hips. This is our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, right leg goes high. Hey, we bend the knee. The hip tries to stack over the other hip. And then we switch it all the way around. Pivot on your left foot to cross the right leg. We come to a plank pose, and then we lower the hip all the way down. From here, it's a forward fold, but we're only here for 3. Maybe fingers touch the toes for 2. From here, we just circle all the way back, and we come to plank hands. So the shoulders are facing one direction, but the hips and legs face the other direction. Hips are on the floor, arms, they actually stretch in front of the shoulders, and then we just tap the elbows down. But we're only here. Last 3, last 2, and this is where we just hold. This is a deep stretch, a deep twist of our low spine and hips. Last breath here. Hey, it's the right hand, or the same hand as crossed leg that comes underneath the face. It's the opposite foot that presses into the mat, and then we lift up. This is our fallen angel pose. Fallen angel to that high plank with crossed leg, and then the knee taps the elbow. Hey, listen for the change. The foot steps all the way to the outside, and then we lower the knee down. It's the right leg, arm. It's the same arm as bent leg that tries to tap the heel, and then it twists open. It's the same arm as leg that tries to tap the heel, and then it twists open. Same arm as leg that tries to tap, and then it twists open. And then from here, I should have said this at the beginning, but blocks under the hands are always a good idea. We try to lower onto our forearms. Wherever we are is perfect. This is a very deep hip stretch on every body, no matter what shape they are making. This is our very last breath here, yogis. And then from here, hands come underneath the shoulders, the back toe tucks, and the right leg lifts up. This is three-legged dog. Three-legged dog, knee to nose, and then we step that foot through, and we lift the back leg up. Hey, look at this. We're going to take a block under the hand, and we're going to peel all the way open to half moon pose. We're only here for 3. Oh, we got it for 2. Lower the leg and lift the torso up. This is warrior 2. Reverse warrior, and then cartwheel hands all the way down. We're going to take it to our chaturanga, so it's high plank to low plank. Upward facing dog, and press all the way back to downward facing dog. And then it's the left leg that goes high. Hey, the knee bends. This is that scorpion dog. And then remember from here, the knee taps the outside of the arm, and then the knee taps the inside of the arm, and the foot, it steps down. The knee comes all the way down. So it's the same arm as leg that tries to tap the elbow. This is a great place for a block. It tries to tap the wrist or the ankle, and then it spins open. We try to tap, and then it spins open. We try to tap, and then it spins open. And then from here, hey, knee comes to the elbow, and we send it all back. open our leg and our shoulder, and we're only here for 3. Last 2, we lower the leg as we lift the chest. This is our warrior 2. To reverse warrior. And then we cartwheel our everything down, and we're in our high plank to low plank. Upward facing, press it all the way back. It's scorpion, and then it's knee to elbow. It's the leg that swings across, and we're in our push-up pose. We lower the hips as we circle the arms, and then we come to a straddle forward fold. Just breathe. Just breathe. And then we circle back. Hey, legs are crossed, and hands, they walk out. Remember, we just bend the elbows and straighten. We just bend the elbows and straighten. This is our last time. We bend the elbows and we hold. Just breathe. Just breathe. From here, knees come down. Elbows down, hips are high. Forehead down. And just breathe. Hands can interlock at the fingers, and then we bend elbows and we straighten elbows. We bend elbows and we straighten elbows. We bend elbows and we straighten elbows. And then from here we glide all the way up. So this is forearms. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and we've come into a dolphin pose. And then we lower the knees, lower the hips. We're in our tabletop. We're going to extend the left leg long, and the right leg extends out to the side. This is frogger pose, and we're pulling our heart through the center line. From here, I gotta move my blocks out of the way. And then it's the left arm, or it's the opposite arm as a bent knee that crosses the body. And it's the other arm that circles up and over, and we come into our supine twist. We're gonna reverse out, so we circle that arm up and over, and then we take it straight back to our interlock fingers. And we pull the heart through the center line. We're only going to do that 2 more times. We cross the arm, then it's the other arm that circles all the way up, and it opens us into our supine twist. And then we're going to reverse it, remember? We circle all the way up, and then we come straight back. And we pull our heart through the center line. This is our last time. Our last time. We cross the opposite arm, and then the other arm circles up and overhead, and we're in our supine twist. We're going to hang out here, yogis. Just breathe. Just be still. Last breath here. And then roll all the way onto your back and come into happy baby. Hands grab the feet. Knees are trying to pull close to the floor. Just breathe. And then we're going to reverse out the way we came in. So the legs come back to the chest, and then we roll all the way over onto our belly. And once more, we're going to interlock our fingers. And we're going to pull our heart through the center. And this time it's the left leg that comes out to the side. Half frogger. And then it's the right arm that crosses the body, and the left arm reaches up and over, and it circles us, opens us into the supine twist. And then we just reverse out. That upper arm circles up and over. And this, my friends, is so important for golfers. We pull the heart through the center, and then we do it. Last time. onto our mat if we want to. If we're at home, it probably doesn't matter. Hands come to the feet. This is happy baby. And then from here, we just roll all the way over. Remember? Oh, we remember. From here, hands come underneath the shoulders. Legs are hips width distance. We're just gonna lift our torso up, and then we lower our torso down. Hands slide. So they're halfway down our rib cage. And then once again, we just lift our torso up, and then we lower it down. And then hands, they slide all the way to the bottom of our rib cage. And you guessed it, friend. And then we lower it down. Press self back to child's pose. And we remember my child's pose doesn't happen for me today with my knee. So my child's pose is very modified. Wherever we are, we're only here for 3. Last 2, and then last 1. Press into your hands, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. This is our downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. It's the right leg that lifts. The knee bends, and then the elbow taps to the knee, and then the leg crosses. Hey, we're in our half leg with cross leg, and then we lower the hips down. We circle all the way in to our forward fold straddle, and then we circle all the way out. And we're like in our plank, except hips are down. Hands walk long, and then we tap for 4, for 3, for 2. Last 1, and we hold. Just breathe. Just be still. From here, hands come underneath the shoulders. Left foot down, and we lift up into knee to nose. Send the leg back. This is 3-legged dog. And then step the foot all the way through. Weight shifts into that front leg. Hey, hand comes to the block, and then we open up. This is our half moon pose. From half moon, we so carefully lower the foot down, and then we lift the torso up, warrior 2. Warrior 2 to reverse warrior, and we cartwheel the hands all the way down. Listen for the change. We're going to step the back leg long, and then we're going to walk the front leg to the outside of the hands. The right arm stretches all the way, and then remember, it taps the lower back. We're only here for 2. Hey, last 1. And then it's the knee that comes down, and the leg swings around, and hand grabs the ankle, and then gaze goes forward. We're only here for 3. And then we release. We take it to our tabletop. We take it to our high plank, to low plank. Glide over the toes, upward facing, and then we press all the way back. It's the left leg that lifts so high. And we take it to a scorpion dog. And then from here, the knee taps the outside of the elbow, and then the legs cross. Hey, we're in a high plank, and then we lower the hips down, and we reach and stretch. This is our forward fold straddle. From forward fold straddle, we just stretch it right back. Hey, And it's just 2. And then back knee down, and the top leg swings around. Ankle to hand and gaze goes over the front fingers. And then we release. Take it to tabletop. Then it's high plank, low plank, glide. Oh, nice. Lift the chest and then press it all the way back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. The right foot comes over the left knee, and then we so gently lower this shape down. We come down to our elbows. I'm in a heated studio. It's a hot yoga room. This is good for our hips. And we're going to bring in some of those small hip circles. Well, any movement we do in this shape is going to be small. It's still good for us. And then we just circle the other direction. We come up to our hands and knees, and we just round our spine, and then we arch our spine. We just round our spine, and then we arch our spine. Last breath here. It's going to be the right arm that crosses the body. So the right arm, right leg are crossed, and the left arm, hey, it can come to a block overhead. A huge shoulder opener, a huge hip opener, a huge reverse of any kind of swing that only happens in one direction. And then we release, and we unravel. Hey, from here, we can actually come all the way down onto our legs, onto our belly. I'm working with a twisted knee, a swollen knee. It's the left arm that comes up, it's the right arm that comes up, and then we just twist over that knee. And we are trying to bring the opposite foot to the opposite hand. Last breath here. And then we gently roll back to a prone position. Press back to child's pose. We remember with my twisted knee, I'm in puppy pose, but any variation of child's pose that fits your life. And then we press up. We're coming to down dog. Down dog. And then it's the left leg that crosses over the right knee. And then so very carefully, we lower that shape down. We come down to our elbows and we just hold. And then we do those lateral circles, those small circles in our hips. And then the hands come into the shoulders, and we just cat-cow out our spine. Rounding and arching. And then it's going to be the left arm that crosses the body. Remember, the right hand can go overhead on a block, but we're only going to hold here. Last 2. We come back to a neutral spine, and then we come all the way onto our belly. So we're going to roll over our bent knee. So it's going to be the left arm. And we try to bring that opposite foot to the opposite hand. My knee's not going to allow this, but ideally, foot stays crossed over knee. Wherever we are, we're only here for 3. Last 2, last 2. And then we roll all the way back into a prone position. And we press self all the way back. This is our final child's pose. Just breathe. Just breathe. Come all the way onto our hips and swing our legs out in front. Legs come forward, and it's just a straight. I can actually be in this direction. And we just try to reach our feet. We're even stretching our Achilles tendons. This is good for ankle flexibility. Just breathe here for 4. Last 3, last 3. And then from here, we're going to gently just lower all the way down onto our back and come into happy baby. So hands to feet, and we're pulling the knees closer to the floor. Spine tries to be on the mat. And then we release knees, count to the chest, and then legs go off. Arms open, close eyes. I will tell us when it's time to come out. Give your body a moment to recover, a moment to let all that hard work settle down. You can stay laying down, or you can gently press yourself up to a seated position with eyes closed. But when you have a regular practice of yoga and other self-care practices, you help yourself to be at your best. And when you are at your best, you help others to be at their best. And if everyone was the very best version of themselves, the whole world would be a different place. What you do